All right, guys, as you saw, we recently just took the MR2 out to do some testing. We still got a lot to get done before World Cup, and one thing I wanted to get done was a proper race car proven alignment, because we've only taken this thing to our local tire kingdom down the street. They did a great job. They got us to do what we needed to do. No hate on them, but I've actually never brought the MR2 to a proper alignment shop that knows what they're doing when it comes to race cars. We did a long time ago in the past, but it's been a very long time. We got it over here at Tavares Alignment, and this guy is very well known in the racing community out here. He has tuned some of the fastest front wheel drive imports, rear wheel drive, all kinds of stuff.
Wheel drive.
A lot of record setting cars under this man right here, and they all got aligned in this little shop right here. So we wanted to make the drive down and get the MR2 aligned by Tavares, and he's also going to be out at World Cup, so that will be a huge help as well. So we just want to make sure that nothing's far off on the MR2. It does drive pretty straight. It's not like I have a major issue with the alignment or anything like that. I just want to make sure that if there's something that we can improve on, we go ahead and do that. And then if you see anything that you notice that could be better, I'm all ears, because we're still learning when it comes to suspension and alignment.
Let's go to see what I can find.
Yeah.
I mean, numbers is numbers. If you don't try, you never know. I mean, it's the first one.
First MR2, he's done.
Yes, thank you guys for the opportunity to start to work in this car.
How long have you been aligning cars?
Wow, 2011, 12. I got a couple of cars.
So,
I mean,
long time.
yes. It's different platforms, power, numbers, who driving, who tune, the way of the car. I mean, it's a bunch of tiny stuff is in there. It's like a teamwork to see what I can find, what I can see, how I can help the team to going better.
We can only go faster, boys. So we
You know
can't
how
make
it
it
is.
worse.
Yeah, keep working.
Yeah.
Hard work, then let's going to see how the car pay back.
Let's get this sucker aligned.
We want to play with the record.
Yeah.
Right?
We need to get that record back. They just beat us, so
That's how it is. That's how it is.
coming back for it. I just showed this guy some videos of it, just a brief video. He knows that it likes to wheelie, so we're making some changes to the front here.
I
And
know I can make different stuff. You know, it depends how the car feels comfortable, feels safety, going straight, and then I'm starting there to see what kind of changes to make better 60, less wheelie. Try to put more power right away at the 60, the 30. He got the power, just need to figure out how I can help the tuner to put at the track. If the driver is good, he's going to make it.
I think the driver's okay.
Bro, you bring that thing everywhere, man.
My F22, man, these things are sick. I don't think I've ever showed this little guy on the channel yet, but anytime I'm waiting around or just chilling at the house, I bust out the F22.
Yeah.
This might look like a cheap little toy, but it's fully 3D. Has Tailor-ons, does flips, rolls. It's pretty cool.
You got insurance?
Nope.
Oh, yep, it's gone. Oh, what? What was that? Whoa,
I have to go get it.
dude. Whoa, you almost got me, bro. Oh, he did. He did it.
We got it.
I was scared for them in there. Oh, Jesus.
Made it through the shop, unharmed. So they just got done working on the rear. They had a bar under here, and they actually used a ratchet strap to suck the back of the car down to simulate what the MR2 is going to do when it's squatting on the launch. Something that we've never done during an alignment at the old tire kingdom down the road for us. The rear on this side was off by 2 degrees as far as the toe goes, right?
What I see in this car, every car simulate different numbers because it depends how the car, the construction, how the driver do his job, how the sleeping bar, how you adjust. That means you need to figure out how aggressive the car made the squat, check how it's on level to then make. Think about it. You want to put the best surface you can make at the ground. As soon as you make that, you're going to make better 60. More aggressive you put the number, more hard is for move the car.
Yeah, you'll lose mile an hour at the top.
Exactly.
So you're saying off the numbers we already have in the car, this should
If you go-
definitely be better
Exactly.
than what it was already at.
The goal for me is 116, 118.
116. If then the MR2 does anything in the twos or in the teens, I mean,
You'd
that'd
be
be
happy
You
with
can
insane.
that.
make it. You can make it.
What's the best one right now? 120?
127. The
127.
best we've been. The goal is bottom 1-2. So if it does anything in the teens, I'm gonna be very happy.
It's
But-
teamwork. You know how
But
it is?
we still have a lot of tuning and dialing in.
Another
We just
point.
got the new slipper on.
Exactly. I put these numbers. If the car don't make whatever I want, I need to start lose the car. Why? Because it's gonna be more tight for you guys.
Yep.
If the car no make whatever I want, what the car make it, I mean I need to start losing them.
So another good thing about having Tavares do the alignment is he's also going to be at World Cup, and I'm sure he's going to be very busy with all the other faster guys.
I got like 20 something cars in there.
He has a lot of
Yeah.
guys that he has to help out, but if he has some extra time
Yeah, I
and we
go.
have videos of our car and he can watch what it's doing,
Uh-huh.
he can actually help us make suspension changes and alignment changes at the track, which is a huge benefit
Of
as
course,
well.
of course.
So that's another reason I want to come here, because I know he's part of the whole community and some of the fastest guys out there run his alignment, so it's proven stuff. All right, guys, we're ready to get the MR2 off the alignment rack here. Wasn't too far off, but we found a lot of things we could improve on. He had his hands on every corner of the car here. We had things that were out of whack just by a couple degrees here and there. He fixed the toe. We adjusted the front end, took some travel out of it. That should hopefully give us more potential to throw power down and not wheelie. We strapped the car down to actually simulate what it's doing in the squat, just looked at everything. So he said with the numbers we had in it, that where it's at now should pretty much be a guaranteed better setup than what we were running. He's very confident in that, and he wants to see the car at the track, and we will be continuing to communicate with him. Once he sees what the car is doing at the track, he'll be able to tune in some changes and just get her dialed. So we're not going to know exactly what it's going to do until we continue to make some more passes on this alignment, but we have his help now, so we're good to go. All right, guys, so right now I got the backup transmission apart for the MR2. There was nothing wrong with this transmission. It literally looks brand new in here, but I had to change the final drive out on this thing because now that we're back on the K24, both of the transmissions I had set up with the 4.7 final drive for the K20. The one that's in the car, I already changed that final drive back to the 4.3. It's a longer final drive, and this one I had not done that yet too, so I went ahead and got the old final drive out. So this is the 4.7 combo right here. When you change the final drive, you have to change the crown gear that bolts to the diff and the counter shaft as well, because these go together as a pair. And I already went ahead and got the new 4.3 in there so I can get this thing put back together, and we will have our backup for World Cup. And I just got all this stuff from my boy Mark over at GP1 Racing. He is local here in Florida, and he just started stocking all of the Quave parts, and it's awesome because a lot of the times I would have to reach out and get things overseas for these sequentials, but now they are becoming really popular here in the States, and Mark has them, and he is just a few hours away from me, which is really awesome. So big shout out to him and Momentum Motorsports. They supply a lot of these boxes as well. I do just want to say it's pretty wild that back when I got this transmission, it was like 6 years ago, something like that, 5-6 years ago. Emilio's behind the camera right now. He remembers when we first got that sequential.
No one had them back then.
I was so pumped, and no one had them. People were saying, man, you're gonna break that thing, and that's because they had a rally set out at the time that wasn't really rated for the power, but they have innovated and revamped the transmissions to hold more and more power, and now everyone is running them.
You made them all believers.
They're
now,
all
man.
switching, so it's cool to see. But back then I had so many messages. They're like, don't run that thing, you're gonna have issues, this and that. And now it's completely flopped, and you see more and more of these cars coming out with the K sequential because they're just putting down the power. So with that being said, I just got to get this one put back together. This is like the 30th time I've put a transmission together, so I know it like the back of my hand at this point. So I'm gonna go ahead and slap this thing together, and the backup sequential will be good to go for World Cup for the MR2. But right now I got old Trusty in the car, and that's the same one that me and Emilio put together back in Colorado. Yeah, that's still the same transmission that's been in the car. So it's been going for a while.
Yeah, it's proven itself.
Yep. So we'll get this together, and backup transmission will be checked off our to-do list. All right, backup transmission is back together. Checked it, she goes through all the gears. This thing's ready to go in case we have something happen to our main transmission. Me and Amelia have been busy. You guys look right over here. The engine is out of the MR2. So
Quick.
yeah, we already got her popped out. Didn't really film it, we just got to it. Me and Amelia got that knocked out while I've been finishing up some stuff with the catch can, modifying the valve cover for that because we went to some bigger AN fittings. And we just got the word that the billet engine is gonna be ready to go from JBR. So we're gonna go pick that up, and that's why we went ahead and dropped this out, because once we get the new billet engine, we're gonna go ahead and swap everything over from this one onto the billet one and get her in the car. So let's head over to JBR. All right guys, over here at JBR, and we are ready to pick up our billet engine for the MR2. These guys are swamped over here, but we got her bagged up. We wanted to make sure we don't get any dust or debris in this motor here.
Thing's beautiful, man.
Oh, look at that, guys. Full billet, K24, ready to go in the MR2. And we don't have too much time to waste, so we're gonna go ahead, load this sucker up, get back to the shop. We already went ahead, pulled the engine out of the car, and we're ready to get this back in it, get it up and going. Test tomorrow, and hopefully all goes good, and we'll be ready to go for World Cup. So, load this puppy up.
Team no sleep the last couple of days, man.
Yeah, it's
A lot of
crunch
work.
time right now.
All right, put it over your shoulder, man. You got it. Better strap that thing good, brother. Don't want it flying out.
Yeah, that'd be a very expensive mistake. Something about this time of year, my bank account just gets really low. I don't know what it is.
World Cup, man. It's where the big boys play, brother.
That ain't going anywhere.
All right, that's it.
All right, put the pin in it before it falls over. You guys thought we were done after one sequential. Well, before the billet engine can go back into the MR2, I got the sequential that was in the car, and this one's coming apart right now for some fresh bearings because I rebuilt this one a while back with some old hand-me-down stuff, and this one just needs a final go through before World Cup as well. So I just got a bung welded on a new oil pan for the billet engine, so we have two modified oil pans for our oil return. Emilio's been tearing down the other cast K24 to swap our intake and accessories onto the billet engine while I've been working on the smart car because its brakes sucked. They were like binding up, and the smart car just needed maintenance. Ever since we bought it, we haven't even given it an oil change, and we're finally getting some service done before the event. So I got another sequential to tear down here, give it a refresh, make sure everything's good to go, and then we can start getting the billet engine redressed back together. We're gonna have a brand new clutch on this thing, and then get it all put back into the car.
At this point, you should be able to do it with a blindfold, bro.
Yeah, not quite there yet, but a couple more and I think I'd be there. All right, we got the main sequential pulled apart here. This will be the one that we are hoping to get through the whole weekend on. But this is the one that's been in the car for a long time, and I have done some updates to it somewhat recently, just some upgraded sliders and refreshed some stuff when the dogs started to get rounded off. But I mean, this has a lot of use on it, and everything in here, I mean, look at these dogs. I don't know how well you can see it on the camera, but everything looks brand new still. Look at that. Look at the edges on the dog engagement points there. You can see first down here. If you come around, bring the camera like to this side, you can see there's like a little bit of wear on that guy right there, but that's normal. The back side where it actually engages looks like brand new still up under there. That's actually second gear. If I said it was first, I was wrong. First is under here. Oh yeah, look at that. Those are like brand new up under there. So she's looking in good shape, boys. It looks beautiful under here. So that's a good sign, but I know some of these bearings were getting really old, especially the ones that are in the case that go up here. I had to reuse some hand-me-down ones that I found laying around. They got the job done, but I got some brand new ones. So I mainly wanted to get those changed out and just inspect everything, make sure it's good to go. for World Cup. So reassembly of transmission number 2 here with some fresh bearings and a quick inspection. Should be good to go. All right, transmission number 2 for the day. She's in neutral right now. You can see our diff spinning. We can go one back for a reverse. You can see that diff spinning the opposite way. Go back forward for neutral. We got first gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear, fifth gear, and then we got our neutral after fifth. Back into neutral. Good to go. Back in the car. It's 200, just like that.
Dang. 7.3.
Who knows? It's either gonna go or it's gonna blow. We're sending it. That's all I'm gonna say, boys. Just be ready for it. So one of the final things we need to get done on the MR2 is actually a new catch can. Forgot to mention that, but we're redoing the catch can. If you guys remember last year World Cup, we got pretty close to being kicked out. The first time was because we had some condensation from the icebox leak out, and then a second pass we had a ton of blow by and it blew the filters off and our catch can got soaked in oil, and we needed to upgrade our catch can setup. We had to put the big old breather tube into the car, and this year we're gonna go ahead and upgrade the catch can. So this is our old one with the 10 ANs on there. It's pretty small, nothing too crazy inside of there, no crazy baffling or anything like that, so it's pretty easy for the oil to come out of those with the air when it builds up. And Wyatt's been working on this new one right here, and this one is coming out freaking sweet. So it has a lot more capacity for oil. This one's gonna vent up and out through the trunk with a big breather tube, and we're upgrading to -12 fittings as well. But what makes it really nice is all the baffling that Wyatt got done inside of here. So we cut all these pieces out on our Langmuir CNC plasma, and you can see the two bungs go in right here, and back behind this bigger baffle there's a whole bunch of little holes back there for the first stage of baffling, and then that will come into this second stage of baffling, and then the fluids and stuff can drain back down through here. There's a lot of shapes and stuff in here that will help break up the air, separate it from the oil, and then when we have the tube that goes up and out to the trunk, that's going to have its own little kind of basket or some way to block oil from going up and out the tube as well, because we just really want to make sure that the MR2 is solid. We don't have any oil downs. We got to keep all the fluids in this thing for World Cup, and having a upgraded catch can will definitely help us out with that.
Yeah, I don't know if this is going to be the answer to it, but, you know, staring at a computer long enough, I figured those baffles should do something.
Yeah, I mean, it
So,
looks like it should work
we'll
really
see.
well. It can't be any worse than the old one.
Yeah.
All we know is this is an upgrade for sure. And
The old one had one little plate in it that the oil had to hit, and that was pretty much it. So
yeah, plus with being -12 to the valve cover and all that, we're going to definitely have to monitor the crankcase pressure, all that stuff. That other engine was also hurt, so it was building an excessive amount of crankcase pressure, where our new healthier motor should not do that when everything's working properly. But yeah, just one more thing that we need to get done on the MR2 that's just going to mount in the back similar to where that one mounted, and like I said, it'll just go right out the trunk for the main breather, and we'll be good to go. So he's about to weld that up, but I just wanted to show you guys the insides of it because I thought it was pretty cool before he gets her all sealed up here.
lots of aluminum welding. Let's get it done.
Dang, even the generator gets oil changed?
Yeah, dude, everything is getting serviced over
Jeez.
here. We're gonna be in tip-top shape for World Cup. Even the old Predator is gonna be running like a champ. This
been-
also has not had an oil change since I got my trailer.
And she's been putting in work.
She's been on overtime, so oil doesn't look too bad though. It's a little sludgy. Boys, the billet block is all dressed up here. We're getting ready to pull it off the engine stand, get the clutch on, get the sequential bolted up, but we had to get some pictures obviously before it goes into the car for the final time, so we're gonna have to pop this manifold back off, but everything else is on there. Got the fuel pump on, that might have to come off for a reinstall, but intake manifold's on, valve cover, everything is good to go. And you can see why I added a couple things to the valve cover here like I was talking about. So these are now -12. We have the back pressure sensor now over here, not on our fill cap anymore. Crankcase pressure, what did I say?
I don't know, you
Did I
said
say
the
back
wrong
pressure?
thing.
I'm tired. Yes, back pressure sensor is right there now. And
Some sensor.
You just said it again.
did I say it again?
Yeah, you're tired, man. It's okay.
It is the crankcase pressure sensor. Yeah, not back pressure. That's on the turbo over here.
Is it? What is this?
That's a AC condenser.
Yeah, you're tired.
But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and pull this back off and drop her. And we got a brand new clutch to throw on it, which we'll show you. And it's getting close, boys. I think we're just gonna try to stay up tonight and at least get it in the car because tomorrow we have to test again. So we just wanna get as much as we can done on it tonight so that we don't have as much to do tomorrow and go test tomorrow afternoon. So
Wish us luck, man.
yeah, wish us luck. I got nothing else to say.
24 hours from now, it's going to 748.
Wee.
748. I didn't know we were running it out the back. All right, we got the billet engine off of the stand. We're getting ready to throw our action clutch on. We got a brand new triple disc action clutch. Look at that beauty right there.
Shiny.
Made in the USA. I did want to mention that this action clutch right here is the one that we just took off the cast engine that we were testing on. This is the first action clutch we ever threw in the MR2. This is still the original triple disc. All we have done since is resurface the flywheel once, and they sent me one fresh set of discs, but all the plates in between, all the friction surfaces in there, and the spring and everything, this whole pressure plate is the same one that we ran, and this thing has been a lot ever since the first 7, all that stuff. So this one's had a lot of use on it. I just wanted to throw that out there, that those clutches we burned up were because of that aggressive slipper, for sure. So we're hoping with the new slipper setup, this brand new triple disc here will have a lot more life out of it than just a couple passes, since I don't have to preload the absolute crap out of it. But this one right here is still good to go as well. It's gonna go in the box as a backup, and Action Clutch actually gave us another brand new triple disc in case we need that as well. So we'll be at the track with 3 triple discs from Action, so I think we're all set on clutches. And yeah, just appreciate them helping our program here. They've definitely made it nice that we can just count on them for the clutches, and they've been working great. And we're going to throw a ton of power through this sucker right here. And I think she's gonna put it down, no problem. So we're gonna go ahead and get it on there. Transmission on, here's the car. The MR2 is officially back on the billet engine. The billet K24 is in. We got it fully bolted up. For now, we got the mid plate on. All the mounts are tight. Got the axles in it. Got the shift cable on. Clutch solenoid thing is on there.
It's so late,
Yeah,
bro.
it's 2 in the morning right now.
How could you even think right now, man?
But we have some more work to obviously get it fully up and running, which we will hit it hard tomorrow and get it ready to test. But we're calling it there for right now, and we will continue the video tomorrow morning. I mean, we're just gonna keep going. I don't have time to really sit back and edit this as its own, so we'll at least get it fired up, I think, and then we'll call it there, and then track video.
And then we'll do the track, yeah. Because,
Yep.
I mean, we don't need much. We got to get the exhaust manifold on there, turbo,
Yeah, it's
tighten
not
up
far.
a few things. But,
Yeah, it'll run in this video, so we'll pick back up on it tomorrow and get her fired up. Make sure everything sounds healthy, and we'll be good.
Always time for a lap, huh?
Time for a victory lap in the F22.
Almost 3 in the morning. Oh!
All right, now we can
Dang. All right.
All right, it is the next day, and we are just about ready to get this thing fired up. We got the billet block completely dressed up, turbo kit's back on, wiring harness is on there, everything's plugged back in. I'm not sure if we showed the catch can being completed, but Wyatt just got that done. You can see we had to cut a hole in the carbon trunk here, but that's gonna be where the catch can will breathe. That's our vent. So if you look in the back, we have a much larger catch can. It actually goes down inside, and that thing could hold a few quarts of oil. So we upgraded the catch can. It has dash 12s going to the top of it now. So we'll have a lot more breathing coming from the engine. You can see we got our Clearview filter back on. So now we have that remote oil filter for the billet lock. We don't run the factory style one anymore. The exhaust is on. And speaking of the exhaust, we mentioned that World Cup rules require the cross bolts, and we got the cross bolts welded in as well. So we just took the proper size bolts, got those welded in both sides. That is just done so that in case the turbo fails and the exhaust wheel decides to come out of the exhaust, those cross bolts will catch it so it can't fling out of the exhaust and possibly injure anybody. We're getting ready to put some oil in it right now to do a first test start on the billet engine. Wyatt's working on these window vents right now because along with upgrading our latches and actually getting these hooked and secured, we also got some window vents that we're going to be adding right down here to help relieve some cabin pressure as well, because we really do not want our doors to blow off, because we're planning on going faster than we've ever gone, and both of these doors have come off, and we have fixed them, patched it back up, put it back together. So we're trying to do everything we can to relieve all the cabin pressure to keep the windows from blowing out. Huge shout out to Stocky Auto Works for getting these to us quickly. I was trying to track some down, I couldn't find any. Luckily he had some locally out of Orlando, so we're able to get those on there. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead, get some oil in this thing, and we're ready to fire it up.
Oh, he's got some steady hands.
That's why I'm so good with the Raptor.
All right, man, you get a little cocky. That's pretty high, man. Oh, oh. Dang.
All right. We're done with that. All right, guys, we are just about ready to do a first start on the Billet K24 here. We just put fuel in it, got oil and transmission fluid in there. It's probably gonna take a second for the fuel pump to prime, so we might have to help it with some brake cleaner just to get her popped over. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and fire it up, and here in about 30 minutes, we're about to try to get loaded up and take it over to the track to test. So we don't have too much time, so hopefully all goes good right here. But we're ready to go hot whenever you're ready, Wyatt.
All right, you gotta work the throttle.
All right, I got the throttle.
You gotta hit the switch on the back.
Switch off. I'm gonna hit some brakes in right now. Why not?
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, you want to get the throttle still?
Yeah.
All right, I got it. Was it building pressure?
No, yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Come on. Come on.
Still no.
Something's going on.
Behind the scenes. Doesn't always go smooth.
So it's just not reading right?
Yeah, no, not at all. It read like, it said the cam was reading like 20,000 RPM for a second. It was spiking. It's being weird. Yep. up and running. We just had to swap that sensor and it fired right up. So I guess that other cam sensor was probably a little,
On the sensor.
wasn't it?
What was it?
Forgot a ground.
Oh, you forgot a ground? Oh, well, missed a ground, but you fired right up. Nice.
Solid. Sounds good.
Put it on the trailer.
Put water in it. Put
Water in
the
it.
pan on.
Load it up.
Let's get out of here.
All right.
We are on very limited schedule right now, boys.
You're about to strap in this thing.
Man, every time it fires up, I'm like, it sounds so good. It really does sound the same as it always does. But
It just sounds different because all the
there's something
time.
about it first start every time.
It's all the
I'm
time
like,
you
it's
put
that-
in it before it starts. That I think that's what it is.
Yeah, it's just so nice to hear it run. Hell yeah. So, yeah, just like I said, we just got to throw the catch pan on, get the front bumper on, water, and then we can load this sucker up and head to the track and do some testing before World Cup. All right, she's all loaded up. We're getting ready to head over to the track, but the billet engine is in. This will be our last test session before we are off to World Cup. This video might be a little sporadic because we were really busy just getting this thing ready to go. So we were all over the place these last couple days, but we got her ready. And in the next video, you'll see how today's track session goes. So good job to Wyatt and Emilio helping me out, getting this thing knocked out. It's been a lot of work, so I appreciate them helping, just staying through to the end and getting her done, and it looks like we should make it. So thank you guys for watching this video, and we'll keep you guys updated with how it goes at the track. So I'm excited and nervous.
It's gonna go good.
Same.